Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, GMB Today. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. The Chase's Paul Sinha filled one player with dread after he jokingly teased a future rule change on the show after they secured one jaw-dropping cash prize. During Thursday's visit to the ITV studios, host Bradley Walsh welcomed four new hopefuls onto the Tea Time show. The 64-year-old welcomed Sarah, George, Debbie, and Steve onto the show to put their general knowledge to the test. This week, the quartet went up against Paul the Sinha Sinha, who certainly brought his A-game to the table. First up to the podium was Sarah, who wowed fans with her impressive general knowledge after she banked £7,000 in the jackpot. Hoping to follow in her footsteps was law student George, who revealed his plans to take his girlfriend to Seattle if he leaves the show with some winnings. But after a disappointing cash builder round, securing only £1,000, the future lawyer decided to play to take on the chaser for just £1. Before his final question, Bradley poked fun at the player's measly winnings, reminding him, if you get this right, you'd have had 4 goes at getting the £1,000 and 3 goes at getting the £70,000. Oh well, we knew you'd redeem yourself. What a shame. As predicted, George correctly answered the final question, securing his place in the final chase and adding £1 to the cash pot. The host added, both of you could be playing for £130,000, as George rolled his eyes before asking the 54-year-old about his thoughts on the surprising game. He added, well, you did what you had to do and you got back. But the bad news for you is, I believe that you weren't concentrating when the producers told you that you actually win what you bring back to the final chase. We use your sign-up to provide content in ways you've consented to and to improve our understanding of you. This may include adverts from us and third parties based on our understanding of you. You can unsubscribe at any time. Read our privacy policy. Despite his shortcomings, George managed to take the cheeky swipe on the chin as he chuckled at his joke before returning to the team. After watching the game play out on the airwaves, fans flooded to X, formerly known as Twitter, to share their frustration online. One user penned, why on earth go through the process of being selected to play for £1? First-class Muppet, #the chase. As another agreed, £1? GTF, loser's attitude, #the chase. Another chimed in with, if I'd put $7,000 in the kitty and he came back with his pound, I would pound his bloody face in. How can you be so selfish? #the chase. Speaking about the cheeky rule change, one fan wrote, that should be the case. They work as a team to beat the chaser, but they win what they put forward for the final chase. Stop the wimps going low offer, #the chase. The final contestant to take on the chaser was Steve, who stumbled at the final hurdle and was eliminated from the show. In the final chase, the team successfully answered 14 questions correct, but the chaser caught the trio, leaving them empty-handed. It was supposed to be another smooth episode of The Chase. Banter from Bradley Walsh, quick-witted contestants, and the ever-impressive chasers. But what unfolded had viewers shouting at their TVs and left Paul Sinha, the Sinnerman, openly suggesting a major shakeup to the rules. The team had started strong. First up, Laura from Manchester, a bubbly nurse, brought back a solid £6,000. Then came Raj, a teacher, who played it safe and returned with £3,000. Things were looking hopeful. The team chemistry was brilliant. Then came Josh. Josh, a 24-year-old freelance graphic designer from London, swaggered to the podium with a smirk that even Bradley couldn't help teasing. Confident are we, the host joked. Oh, I don't lose, he replied with a wink to the camera. His cash builder was actually impressive. He racked up £9,000, triggering a murmur of approval from the audience. But when Paul Sinha offered the high amount of £45,000 and the low of £0, Josh raised eyebrows by immediately choosing the zero offer. Gasps filled the studio. Even Bradley paused mid-joke. Zero? Seriously? I'm thinking of the team. It's better if I just get back safely. Backstage, Laura and Raj exchanged stunned glances. And Twitter? It exploded. Hashtag the chase. That guy just killed the vibe. Selfish, one tweet read. Why go on a quiz show and take 0? Total waste of a seat, said another. But the drama didn't stop there. Josh actually managed to get back, with nothing. As the final chase loomed, the team stood with a total of 9,000 pounds, Laura and Raj's combined effort. Josh, standing smugly in the middle, contributed nothing financially, yet was still part of the team split. In the final chase, the trio worked surprisingly well together. They answered 18 questions correct, pushing Paul to the limit. But when he was stopped just one answer short of catching them, the studio erupted. They had won. That's when Paul Sinha, usually calm and composed, turned to Bradley and said, "You know, maybe it's time for a rule change. If someone brings back nothing, they shouldn't get a cut. It's not fair to the ones who did the heavy lifting." Bradley blanked. "You're not wrong, mate." Twitter was immediately on fire again. Paul said what we were all thinking. Rule change now. Josh is the reason we need a new format. He played the game, but not the spirit. Hashtag selfish chaser. Backstage, even producers were overheard debating the implications. By the end of the night, the hashtag Josh rule change was trending. Laura and Raj were diplomatic during their interview, simply stating they were glad to win. Josh, he just grinned and said, "I played smart." But for fans, it wasn't smart, it was selfish. And maybe, just maybe, Paul Sinha's offhand remark would go down in the chase history as the moment everything changed.